September 31st, 2019. My wife had thyroid surgery this past week, so today I've spent a lot of time at home and working from home, looking after her. She's doing well. I'm thankful for that. We'll get the final tally soon on whether or not she needs to go back in or not. I'm praying that she doesn't. But I got asked a question about what type of diet I'm doing. And here's what I've learned. I've been doing strength athletics and been part of the fitness bullshit for going on 30 plus years now. Did my first powerlifting contest when I was 14 years old. I've run the full gamut. And the one thing that I've always lacked in that regard is willpower. I've always known how to diet, but I've never been very good at it. Never competed in a bodybuilding competitions. I never really understood what a diet was. And so basically last year at the Steel Timber Sports Series Champions Trophy race in Milwaukee, I had a sort of a scare. You know, I was about 290 some pounds at this event, and that's likely closest to the heaviest I've ever been. And the reason why is I was overeating because I kept on injuring my hamstrings, training or lifting or whatever. So I justified overeating to recover from the weight or from the injuries. And so normally what happens when you have an injury, a soft tissue injury, is you need to rest it, you need to relax it, you need to ice it, you need to, get whatever sort of dry needling, stem, massage, etc., and increase your caloric intake in order for your body to recover. And so that's what I was doing, and I ate myself into almost 300 pounds. And so I decided that my wife had done the Whole30 diet, which basically the concept behind the Whole30 diet is no dairy, no bread, no processed anything, and above all else, no sugar, no added sugar. And so my wife had done that during July, and she had lost 17 pounds relatively easily, relatively quickly, and she wasn't really torturing herself. So I did that beginning August the 1st, and I too lost 17 pounds in 30 days. And I realized that, it was harder than hell. Hardest thing I've ever done in my life was to give up Subway, to give up pizza, to give up, all the staples of my diet, adding craisins and crap to my oatmeal and even oatmeal, And so really what I learned from this whole process was that it's not a diet, it's nutrition. And to be an athlete, you have to have nutrition. And in order to be a senior athlete, you have to really be particular about what you put into your body in order to get optimal performance. And so what I did was, over the course of the next 60 days, was that I added certain things back into my nutrition. And it's not a diet. This is about sustainability. This is about something that I can do. Anytime that you restrict yourself, you're going to fail. And that's what has happened to me my entire life. But for the first time in my life, I have willpower. I'm able to look at that pizza and at those Cheez-Its and all the other crap in the office and say, nah, I don't want that. I don't have to eat that. I don't want that. But here's the thing. I don't forbid myself from eating those things. But I allow myself, once a week to have those sort of things. I've never really craved sweets. I'm a real big eater of cheese. I love milk. And so taking the dairy out with the Whole30 damn near killed me. But, my typical day of eating is I get up every morning between 3:30 and 4:30. I drink a cup of coffee, and I do I sit on a heating pad, and then I go to the gym and I work out. And then totally fasted. I just drink coffee for pre-workout. And after that, I'll have about, 8 o'clock, I'll have my first protein shake, which is a scoop of whey, a scoop of casein, and some super greens, and probably a handful of spinach ground up inside it. And that's my first shake. And then around 10 o'clock, I'll have a second shake, which is probably about 10 ounces of pomegranate juice, a scoop of casein, scoop of whey, and probably a handful of frozen blueberries. In addition to that, I'll have a couple of fiber gummies and some vitamin C chewables. Then about 12:30, 1 o'clock, I'll have a meal that I prepared from the previous night, which is normally some form of meat with vegetables and some sort of sauce that has no added sugar. And then for dinner, I'll have an omelet, egg white omelet with Kalamata olives and mushrooms, and then a couple pieces of bacon. And then before I go to bed, I'll have some almond cream over top of some fresh blackberries or raspberries or blueberries. That's a typical day eating for me, but that's not every day. I mean, there are days that I allow myself to have a pizza. There are days that I allow myself to have, a burger. But the main thing to remember is that it's nutrition. It's not a diet. If it's a diet, it solely self-imposes a restriction. You can't do that. I mean, especially for us bigger guys. I mean, I've been 270 some pounds plus for, good Lord, probably going on 15 years, and if not more. And so now that I'm back in the 260s and hopefully trending toward the 250s, the real hard part has been establishing willpower. And also, I wanted to add, like, one of the biggest problems that I've had throughout my life is nighttime eating. And I would basically sleepwalk and then sleep eat, never remember doing it. I was able to kick that habit this past spring. So in addition to kicking the nighttime eating, I've actually grown some willpower. And hopefully someday I'll be, flat-stomached and stealth, or, stealth for me, or svelte for me, which is not saying much, but, at least I'll be slimmer. And if that helps me compete better, great. It's each, we have our own journey. If you set your mind to it, you can do it. And basically what I did is I chose food options that were sustainable for me, that were something that I could live with, something that doesn't lead me to failure. And I hope that makes sense, but I'm glad someone asked me the question, because, I put a lot of effort into this. I've been on this now going on 6 months, and, I'm very, very pleased with the results. I got a ways to go yet, and I'm hoping that it will improve my performance. I have no idea. If anything, it will help me live longer, and, that in itself is a win as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, have a good one.